I've written about my experiences with people like Putin and Erdogan and stuff.
Yeah.
That in general.
Tell us something about Putin. I'm very intrigued. Like I've watched him on TV, the translated version of whatever he's saying. And it's very hard to read him. What do you think of him as a guy?
So I'd say that this is a very interesting case study for me because I first met Putin in 2003. He'd come to the US and including to New York. And he was very much about meeting foreign investors, quoting foreign capital. And he had just come to power and he was like, I have to make Russia like a European country again. He would actually say these words, right? That I have to make Russia like a European country again. He was very much about the economic reformist. And, we spoke about taxes. One of the very few governments in the world which actually introduced a flat tax was Russia.
Right.
They said flat tax. I think it was 13% or something. Said flat tax. And he told the oligarchs, you go do what you want, just stay out of politics. And you do what you want and stuff. And he was that way when he came to power. So in fact, he was a reformer in the classical way, right? I mean, it seems like such a long time ago, which most people forget.
Right.
And then as the Russian economy started booming. In the 2000s, the Russian economy boomed.
Right.
And also the oil price also surged. When he came to power, the oil price was $20 a barrel. And then by the end of the decade, oil price was $100 a barrel. Now, success starts to really go to his head and stuff like that. I mean, and you can see this. Then I go to Russia in 2010. I was going there to attend a conference in Russia, in Moscow, organized by one of the biggest banks there called VTB. And then what happens is that, say, the owner of the big bank calls me up and says, listen, since you're coming for this conference, will you make a presentation about what Russia needs to do to sort of move up to the next level of its development? And Putin is going to be there at the conference. And so his office is saying that since you're coming, why don't you make a presentation in terms of what's happening? So I'm like, okay, since I'm going there and I've been told to do this by the host and he's saying Putin's going to be there and I'll give me a chance to interact with Putin, I'll do this. And then he gives me the advice that make a frank presentation. Say frankly what you feel about Russia and stuff. I took those words seriously. I made a presentation and I land up at the Moscow Convention Center and, there. So the conference is going on. Putin arrives. He's on the stage. And Christine Lagarde was the guest of honor. She was the French prime minister, finance minister those days. So she came from France and they're the States. So I go up on stage and then I begin my presentation. I'm told to make a frank presentation, right? So I start by telling Putin the fact that, listen, you came to power in 99, 2000, your country was in chaos. And you came and you did these steps which were great for the country, in terms of about a flat tax, about stabilizing the business environment and stuff. That was great, all well done. But now here are your problems. That if you look at the top brands in the world, including of stuff which is associated with Russia, like vodka, there's not one brand which is Russian. If you look at small to mid-sized businesses in your country, there's no small to mid-sized business of any note in your country. It's all concentrated by a few oligarchs at the top. And, and then I run the list that about what all Russia has got wrong in terms of the last thing. What I did not know was that this is going to be telecast live. It's because, that the cameras were there, people were there. So this is getting telecast live on Russian television as well. Putin's there, he's poker face. He doesn't express anything. He doesn't say anything. He's taking notes down and stuff. I think it's going fine. But then I could also sense that some unease is spreading in the audience. So then I go back and sit in my seat. And then, I shake hands with Putin after the end of my thing. And then Putin talks after me. And then in his speech, he talks about, he's at a conference. And how prime ministers speak at a conference.
Yeah.
They're all talking about how great the country is and all. But he does acknowledge one or two points of mine there, and I could hear that from the translation. He knows English very well, but he'll never speak in English, ever. He'll only speak in Russian in public. Then the conference gets over, and I could make out something has gone wrong. Because the conference organizers don't want to talk to me anymore. They're acting very cold and stuff like that, and all this has happened, and it's all looking very uneasy. I go back to my hotel room. Early next morning, I'm woken up by a phone call. I was working with Morgan Stanley those days. I was there. I was running their emerging markets investing group. I'm woken up by the person, one of the top executives at Morgan Stanley, who was my direct boss, who I was reporting to, saying that, what have you done? So I said, what have I done? He says, like, in terms of, haven't you read the Russian press? So I said, no, I don't read Russian press. What's happened? He said, the entire Russian press has gone after you, saying that you've come here for the conference and you're just nothing but a party spoiler, because, like, Russia today has like so much FX reserves. Its oil is at $100 a barrel. You don't need, like, nobody needs your money and your capital. Like, you should not come to Russia and stuff like that. So it's a very hostile tone in the press, and it's all controlled by the Kremlin. So I'm like, okay, that's problematic. And so then I'm told that, and then he advises me the fact that you should leave the country. In terms of that this is not fun, this is not going to be fun and stuff like that. You should have no idea where he was coming from, but you should leave the country. So I left the country that day, and then I've not gone back since. And then I learned that this advice giving business is just counterproductive, and giving frank exchange and all that just doesn't work. And how it also taught me about how leaders transform over time. That when he first came to power, he seemed receptive. He needed the money. The country was in crisis. The country sort of wanted foreign capital. But now he was in power for more than 10 years. Oil is $100 a barrel. He's firmly ensconced. And he has zero tolerance for hearing any criticism about the country or what anything has to do. And so here we are. And after that day, I mean, in terms of the fact that I've always been suspicious about anything to do with Russia.
Fair point. But I think every country is different.
Yeah, but I'm just giving you an example.
Russia,
that you get scarred by some experience.
Yeah. But you shouldn't give up.
Well, I'm not giving up. I'm still investing. I'm still doing what I can. And I think the other way is, like, I still write, right? So you write, you express your views. Someone's interested in it. You engage with them.
Yeah.
But
the spoken word is a lot more dramatized than the written one, I guess.
Maybe. But I still believe in the power of the written word.